So, you think you might have termites. That feeling, it's just awful. But don't worry, you're in the right place. Think of this as your emergency toolkit. We're going to walk through exactly what you need to do, step by step, to turn that panic into a real plan and a real payoff.
You know the sound I'm talking about, right? You just tap on a wall, maybe you're hanging a picture, and you hear that hollow, kind of crunchy sound. Ugh, your stomach just drops. It is a moment of pure dread for any homeowner, and if you're watching this, you probably know exactly what I mean.
And you can't just ignore it. That's the thing. It's not a problem that's going to fix itself. Just like a tiny fire in your kitchen, if you don't act, it's only going to spread. But if you move fast and you follow the right playbook, you can absolutely put that fire out before it ever gets close to taking over your home.
Okay, so first things first. Before we can even think about fighting back, you've got to be a detective. You need to know exactly what you're looking for. Let's get into spotting those telltale signs. See, termites are sneaky. They are the silent destroyers that eat your house from the inside out. So you might not see the actual bugs, but you will see the clues they leave behind. Keep your eyes peeled for these little mud tubes. They look kind of like dirty straws crawling up your foundation walls. And listen for that sound we talked about, that hollow knock. Also, look for tiny little piles of what looks like sawdust. Spoiler, it's not sawdust. It's actually termite droppings. And you know, even something as simple as a door or a window that suddenly starts sticking can be a huge red flag that the frame has been warped.
Okay, you've seen some of the signs. So what do you do right now? Number 1, and this is crucial, stay calm and do not touch anything. Resist every urge you have to poke a hole in that wall or start ripping things out. Why? Because you'll destroy the evidence. Second, get on the phone and call a licensed pro. And be specific. Ask for a full WDO report. That stands for Wood Destroying Organisms, and it is the official document you're going to need. And third, while you wait, pull out your phone, take pictures, take video, note the date, the exact location, and describe what you saw. This is you right now building your case.
And why is all that evidence so important? Well, because it can lead to this: $48,000. That's not a made-up number. That is a real settlement that was paid to a homeowner who took the time to take good photos and keep every single report. Your documentation is what speaks for you when someone else tries to say, "Oh, I had no idea."
And that documentation, well, that's the foundation for our entire second step. We're going to gather so much evidence, we're going to build a case so solid that nobody can possibly knock it down.
All right, think of this as your must-have proof pack. Your phone is your best friend here. Get lots of close-up photos and videos. And here's a pro tip. While you're recording a video, just say the date and time out loud. It really helps. Then you need that official WDO report we talked about on their letterhead. Next, get 2 or 3 written repair estimates from different contractors to show the true cost of the damage. And finally, you got to dig up those old documents. Your closing contracts, the seller's disclosure form, any pest treatment history you have. Trust me, these pieces of paper can be worth thousands and thousands of dollars.
Now, if you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, please let it be this. Do not start repairs yet. I know you want to, but when you start ripping out damaged wood and fixing things yourself, you are literally throwing away the evidence. It's like wiping fingerprints from a crime scene before the police show up. The other side loves when you do this because if there's no evidence, you got no claim.
Let me give you another real-world example of why this all matters. $62,000. A family found major termite damage right after they bought their house. The seller basically said, "Tough luck, not my problem." But because they documented everything and brought in the right team, they had this check in their hands in just 60 days. That's the difference a good team makes. Which, brings us perfectly to Section 3. You need to understand that this is a two-front war, so you're going to need 2 very different expert teams. One to fight the bugs and one to fight for the bills.
Think about it like this. Say you've got a leaky roof during a huge rainstorm. Your bug expert, that's your inspector and your exterminator, they're the roofer. They get up on the roof and they stop the leak. Awesome. But what about all the water damage inside your house? The ruined drywall, the soaked insulation? That's where your legal expert comes in. They're the ones who make the person responsible for the faulty roof pay to fix everything inside. You absolutely need both to get your home dry and to get your money back.
So how do you know when it's time to call that legal expert? Well, these are the giant flashing red flags. If you find this damage anytime within the first year of buying your house, call a lawyer. If you look back at the seller's disclosure form and see they checked the box that said no known termites, you call a lawyer. Or if a pest company supposedly treated or inspected the home before you bought it, but they clearly missed some huge obvious damage, yeah, you pick up the phone.
And you know what? The results can happen shockingly fast. Just last year, a couple found termites literally 6 weeks after closing. The seller swore up and down the house was clean. Well, their lawyer bundled up all their evidence and sent one single professional demand letter. Less than 2 months later, this check for $68,000 showed up. One letter.
That check right there is all the proof you need that this process works. So for Section 4, let's break down exactly how you can make the person who made the mistake or hid the mistake be the one who pays the bill for it, not you. When you start looking for who should be writing you that check, it almost always comes down to one of 3 usual suspects. First, you've got the seller, who either flat out lied or just conveniently forgot about that massive termite problem. Then there's the pest company, who maybe did a really shoddy inspection or a botched treatment. And if you're in a newer home, sometimes it's actually the builder. Our job is to figure out who's holding the bag.
And the process to get paid is actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, it all starts with that professional demand letter, laying out all your proof and demanding payment by a deadline. Step 2 is negotiation. Get ready for it. They are almost always going to come back with a lowball offer. That's fine. We counter with facts. Honestly, most cases get settled right here. But if they stall, then we go to step 3. We file a lawsuit. And it's funny, a lot of the time, the moment those official court papers land on their desk, they panic and the money suddenly appears.
And please don't be intimidated when they throw out that first low number. It's just a tactic. It's a starting point. The best way to think of it is like you're haggling at a flea market, except you walked in with a giant stack of receipts. Your WDO report, your photos, all those repair quotes, that's your leverage. That's how you get the price that you actually deserve.
And when you use that leverage correctly, you can get a fantastic result, like this, $71,000. Look, this isn't just about getting enough money to do the repairs. It's about getting your peace of mind back. And yeah, maybe having a little celebration when it's all over. You've earned it.
All right, let's talk about the best part, the final section. This is the victory lap. The settlement check is on its way. It is finally time to fix your house, recover financially, and make darn sure these little monsters never, ever come back.
Okay, so once that money hits your account, you got to be smart about it. A really good way to plan is to split it into 3 buckets. The biggest chunk, about half, obviously, goes to the actual repairs, new beams, drywall, the works. But then, and this is important, invest a good chunk, say 30%, into future protection. I'm talking bait stations, annual inspection contracts. And hey, don't forget to put some aside for your family. You guys have been through a stressful ordeal. Use it to catch up on bills, put it in savings, or go have that celebration dinner.
So how do we make sure you never have to go through this nightmare again? It comes down to 3 really simple but powerful habits. 1, keep all soil and mulch at least 6 inches away from your foundation. Don't build a highway for termites right to your house. 2, fix any and all leaks, plumbing, roof, whatever, immediately. Termites need moisture to survive. Don't give it to them. And 3, schedule a professional inspection every single year. No excuses. It's the best insurance you can buy. I absolutely love this way of looking at it. You know, when you first find termites, it almost feels like your house has betrayed you. But this analogy helps reframe the whole experience. You're not just patching a hole here. You are rebuilding after a storm. You're cleaning up all the debris. You're making the walls stronger than they were before. And you're adding protection so the next storm can't hurt you.
You did it. You went through the storm, you fought the battle, and you won. You went all the way from panic to payoff. So now, with the damage properly repaired and all these new protections in place, you really have to ask yourself, is your home actually stronger now than it was before this all began?